Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of sky cams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right, hello. Thanks for joining me for WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. Happy Monday. We finally have some changes on the way. They're just not here for the beginning of this week. But the next big thing that we're tracking is going to be a return of showers and storms. That's going to be for the end of this week, and as we get started into maybe the beginning part of the weekend. So let's just time it out for you here. We've got our next weather maker on the way for Thursday night into Friday morning. Now, most of the models are leading more early to mid Friday morning for the heavier rain, but there's a chance we see some showers push in as early as Thursday evening. And then a little bit of those showers continue through Friday afternoon and evening, and maybe even a sprinkle or two into Saturday morning. But most of us are going to be dry and cooler as we head into this weekend. Then we've got a second weather maker that looks like it's going to show up just in time to cool us off a little more as we get ready to head into your Thanksgiving holiday. Now, bear in mind that this is way at the end of our first alert forecast. It's over a week away. So the second weather maker, not going to be as much of a sure thing. And the timing is going to shift likely either direction, really, as we get further into the forecast. But it could potentially stay Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. It's just, that's the early look at the timing. So we'll keep a close eye on that. It looks for now like it will clear out by Wednesday night, leaving us dry and again cooler by the time we head into your actual Thanksgiving holiday. So we've really only got two big chances for rain. There's not going to be on and off rain in between so much. There's teeny tiny chances at a sprinkle or two, but most of us are going to be dry until Friday. Then we'll be dry again until potentially that middle part of next week with that secondary weather maker. Overall, our models are in pretty decent agreement that from these two systems, we'll see at least an inch to an inch and a half of rain. One of them leaning closer to maybe 2.5 inches of rain. That would be great. I would love to see 2.5 inches of rain across central Mississippi, because that would bring us to about normal for this point in the month where we haven't seen any measurable rain so far this month. But the first weather maker is really only going to bring us about 1/2 inch to an inch. And some of you could certainly miss the rain. We'll have to see how it looks as we get into the middle part of this week and we really have a detailed hour by hour look. But it's looking like most of us will at least see some showers as we head into Friday of this week. And then again, a secondary weather maker at some point next week. Fingers crossed that that one also shapes up to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and not into your Thanksgiving holiday. But for now, things are warm and dry. I personally am tiring of this. Would love to see that cooler weather. We just have to wait a few days before it gets here. But right now, it is a gorgeous start to the work week for us. 80 degrees here in Jackson. Only 72 is what we're reading in Carthage, and likely similar conditions near Kosciuszko. To the north and the east, there's still a little bit of cooler air hanging out, but 72 even is warmer than average for this time of year. So a warm start to the work week. We've got more low to mid 80s for the next few days. We could potentially tie the record high temperature on Thursday, which is 82 degrees. So if we make it there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do, then we'll set a new record. Then by Friday, as that rain starts to push into the area, now this will depend on the timing, but we could maybe make it to the mid or upper 70s, again, depending on what time you happen to get rained on. Behind the rain, our cold front is going to start to push in. That's going to leave us in the low to mid 70s Saturday. And then we've got upper 60s to low 70s heading into the start of next week. That second weather maker into the middle part of next week will likely leave us a little bit cooler still, maybe low to mid 60s for highs on Thanksgiving Day. So that could maybe get you in the spirit a little bit, do some Black Friday shopping on the following day when it's chilly outside, and just have some seasonable conditions finally back in the picture. But we do still have a few more days of these unseasonably warm temperatures. And these temperatures, by the way, are 10 to almost 20 degrees warmer than average for this time of year in some places. An average high right now is around 67 degrees. So we're certainly going to be well above that. We already are this afternoon and still will be through the end of this work week. So that's your first alert forecast. Not too much else going on. It's pretty quiet for the moment. Hopefully you have a chance to enjoy that before we get those showers and storms back in the picture. I will tell you, it doesn't look like we're going to see any severe weather with this system at this point, especially if it comes, sort of in the overnight hours and the early morning hours. There's just not going to be the energy for us to see widespread severe weather, which is good news. There is a chance always that we see maybe a strong to severe thunderstorm that could have some damaging wind gusts, but it just doesn't look like we're going to have a lot of favorable conditions for severe weather, just some widespread at times heavy downpours to help get us out of this rainfall deficit so far this month. So all good things in our first alert forecast. Good for you if you're enjoying the warmer weather. Good for the rest of us that are looking for some cooler days and a little bit of rain. We've got a couple people in the chat. Michael Jefferson, hello, and Seth Ashland, doing pretty good today. Thank you guys for joining me. This is going to be short since I'm by myself, but I'll be on WLBT News with another look at your forecast at 4 and 4:30, maybe at 3 on Studio 3. And then Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts will be in at 5 and 6, and we will be back here at 6:30 to do it all over again. If you have any questions, save them for later. And have a great rest of your day.